What's up, binge watchers? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we'll be doing a discussion, non-spoiler review of HBO Max new comedy thriller series, The Flight Attendant. This is also currently streaming on HBO Go Asia app. And this series is developed by Steve Yockey based on the novel of the same name by Chris Bajalian. This movie follows Casey Bowden, played by Kaley Cuoco, a flight attendant slash semi-functioning alcoholic who had a one-night stand with one of her passengers, Alex Sokolov, played by Michael Huisman. She suddenly finds him dead in the morning. Now she has to navigate her way, how to outwit herself from that crime that she may or may have not committed. And hot on her tracks are the FBI and this shady organization that Alex is working with. Before we do our review, why don't you guys do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to us for weekly reviews of movies, TV shows, and video games. Now I bring back to the channel our resident cinephile,
Wow.
Carlos. Welcome back.
Hi Kevin, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thanks again for another great suggestion. So what are your thoughts? Let us know.
I found this show to be a surprise. I didn't think Kaley Cuoco would even do something like this. I find it refreshing because she has played a singular character for 12 years in The Big Bang Theory, and that has made her a household name. Before this show, I believe she did voice work for Harley Quinn, which is also on HBO.
Yeah.
And she did great work in that, and she executively produced this show, The Flight Attendant. Great project to show what she's truly capable of. She is sharp, but not always rootable, and sometimes on the verge of annoying. Kaley Cuoco definitely has some dramatic chops, and the show is binge-worthy. I honestly could have taken a day off from work and marathon this in one sitting. It was that good.
I haven't seen much of Kaley Cuoco outside Big Bang Theory, but it's nice that she's building a career here in HBO Max because she also executive produces that Harley Quinn show, which is great. And now to see that goodwill that she have built from the Big Bang Theory, there's already a likable presence, and as you've said, both rootable and annoying character. Initially, that alcoholic characteristic of hers is presented something as an amusement, but as we get into the deeper of the show, it's actually a character study. So it hooks you first with this comedy thriller, and talking about that, it's amazing how this show has crossed so many genres. It's light and dark both at the same time. With that crossing of genres, this will really allow Kaley Cuoco to shine because she is able to display a lot of emotions here seamlessly, from being this terrified, confused flight attendant to something that's really driven. Definitely a wild, thrilling, entertaining ride. The first thing that I've noticed is the opening credits. I am truly hooked by this show because the musical scoring by Blake Neely, it's frenetic and it's ominous at the same time. Like, I've never seen a show like this. So yeah.
That's true. This show is a murder mystery. I would say of international proportions because, of course, our titular character's line of work is to go places because she is a flight attendant, right? And I want to commend the opening credits, like you said. It felt like a wacky caper type of show, and it was.
Yeah.
It reminded me a bit of Catch Me If You Can. It's also a dark comedy, like you said. Superb character study, and every episode unraveled layers of history to Cassie's childhood and how that plays out into now, especially her relationships, her lifestyle, her inhibitions.
Yeah.
She uses alcohol to cope with something that happened in the show, but she has already been a hard drinker since her younger years. Her hazy memory holds her back from remembering or putting the pieces together of what truly happened during that one fateful night. It had a great balance of funny and thrilling, and I was engaged with the whole thing. Hats off to everyone who worked in the show. I believe that they finished this in August, I think, and that's why they were ready to premiere it in November. So
Wow.
amidst all the COVID restrictions, they were able to pull through. So good job.
Also, I have to talk about the direction and the stylized editing. I mean, every episode there's a different director, but usually you can notice that there's a deterioration on some of the qualities, but not in here. It really successfully maintained that lightness and darkness. I also like the way that they played on the split screens to denote the time zone differences. But the most fun aspect of this show is whenever Cassie zooms out and we find herself in this same mental palace where she finds first
Yes.
Alex gutted. I did not expect that it's going to be a recurring theme for the show. So we get more into the perspective of what makes the mind of a complicated woman. This girl is so erratic. The way she tells the story, the way she does a lot of bad decisions here. But because the show gives us this mental palace of hers that was just so fun to watch, we get to know that she is not this annoying character that you can dismiss. Though she really can be annoying at times with how she treats other people. But you know, when we get into the backstory of hers, there's really meaning to her. In hindsight, actually, I realized that the plot itself, when the twists and reveals are eventually laid out, it's not something you're gonna write home about. But this show made its depth because of the titular flight attendant. It really stayed true to its title.
Of course, like they show us every bit of the person. We trace back to everything that happened in her life and why she is the way she is now. Within the 8 episodes, there was nothing short of details. Her relationship with her brother is also highlighted in the show. That to me was one of like the sadder parts of the story. Her brother said that she has selective memory, and the supporting cast really delivered. I know these actors, but my favorites are Zosia Mamet as Annie, the best friend. She is famous as Shoshana in HBO's Girls, which I religiously watched. Here, she plays the lawyer best friend who goes out on a limb to save Cassie. And in the middle of the season, she realizes that she may have been spreading herself too thin for her job and for Cassie. She had a breakout moment, and I love the confrontation scene. Yeah, that was such a revelation. So the actress Zosia Mamet is really great in that. One more actress that I really found to be effective was Rosie Perez as Megan. I love her. I see her in a lot of things. The most recent one was Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Like she was badass in that. At the start of the season, have found her character to be already sketchy because of like the clues they were giving to us. As the show went on, it is revealed what kind of trouble she has getting herself into and why she resorted to that. There are layers to her character, and she did a great job of portraying that. She definitely trusts Cassie. That's why she opens up to her and she considers her her friend, though their age gap is a bit really far, right? This is someone you work with every day, so she feels kind of like a closeness and like a sisterhood to her.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed those two performances and those two character arcs as well. I haven't seen Zosia Mamet before, but you know, to have a friend that's really handy because she's such a passionate attorney that will really go down the hill for Cassie, and along the season she got to have some realizations along the way. And then Megan, played by Rosie Perez, her arc is kind of simmering there in the bubble at the first. I guess I was a bit underwhelmed of how her story didn't really much connect on Casey Bowden, but you know, I heard that they're already talking about season 2, and I think they have much more definite plans for this character. And I think the show very much passes this thing called the Bechdel test, where you group these women and they don't necessarily talk about romantic pursuits. They all have their goals. It's nice to see women being placed in the characters that is typically driven by men. All the men here are just supporting characters, occasionally being placed on the stare of a female gaze. And yeah, it's just refreshing because this show has such a trademark. This is what a comedy thriller would look like if it's done on a feminine approach, and I very much enjoyed it. I'm not just giving credit because of its feminist themes, but it's really hard to pull off a genre that's crossing different genres like comedy thriller. Like I am reminded of Murder Mystery. That Netflix movie could have been so much better had they had a proper vision for that. They can definitely take notes on what the Flight Attendant did. It's just like a page turner book, like you can't stop watching it. I'm gonna give this show a 4.5 out of 5.
Nice. I thought that this was supposed to be just a mini series, to be honest, and with the ending that they gave, it is plausible for a second season because it closes out so good. There are possibilities for Cassie's character to venture out into other things. I'm hopeful, like you are. If I were to give it a rating, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I would definitely watch this again with other people and have them be excited about about the show. It's a rare treat. I don't think there was another show like this, a comedy thriller that's released this year. Kudos.
Yeah. My one concern though is I hope they campaign this for the Emmys award season as a comedy series, because I don't think this has a strong shot for the drama series category, because it does not really pull all the tonal shifts and the stylized editing, but you know, it's mostly fun, and I hope Kaley Cuoco gets recognized here.
She deserves it, honestly.
I think that's it. Let us know, guys, what you think in the comment sections below. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to us for weekly content. Thank you so much, Carlos, for joining us once again.
Thanks, guys, and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas, guys, and see you on the next one.